Hello and welcome back to my channel, and today this video is on Pythagoras' theorem. So here's our first problem, and it says find the missing length. So we know this length here is 4, this one is 3. So this is the one we're trying to find, which is also called the hypotenuse. Now Pythagoras' theorem tells us that a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. C squared, or c, is always the hypotenuse. Now the hypotenuse is the longest length, and in this case it's the one we're trying to find. So if we label that C, and then we're left with that A and B to label, and it doesn't really matter which way round the A and B go, as long as the C is on the hypotenuse, we'll be able to work out the answer. So we label this one here as A, and this one here as B. This is saying that A is equal to 4, and B is equal to 3. So now that we know that, we can substitute that into this equation. So if A is equal to 4, we can do 4 squared. And if we know B is equal to 3, we can add it to 3 squared. And that's going to equal our C squared, which is the missing length we're trying to find. So if we do 4 squared, that's going to give us 16, 4 times 4. If we do 3 squared, which is 3 times 3, that's going to give us 9. So if we add them both together, that's going to give us our C squared. So 16 add 9 is equal to 25. So we know that our C squared is equal to 25. But in this question, it's asking us just to find C, not the squared bit. So what we're going to do is square root all of our equation. So the square root of C squared would just give us C, and the square root of 25 would give us 5. So the answer to this question of find the missing length is going to be 5 centimetres. You've got to remember those units as it tells you them here, and you may lose a mark if you don't put that in. Here's our second problem, and it's set out in exactly the same way, asking us to find a missing length, but this time it's this length here. So if we write down what we know from the problem we solved before, and that's a squared add b squared is equal to c squared. Now if we label up our triangle just like we did before, we know that our C is going to be our hypotenuse, because it always is, and our A and B don't matter, so we put A as this one, our missing one, the one that we're trying to find, and B is this one, so B is equal to 3. And again, just like before, we're going to substitute these bits in. So we don't know A squared, so we'll leave that as A squared, but we do know B, which is 3, so we can put in 3 squared. We do know C, so we can put that in, so 5 squared. Now if we square the bits that we know, we're going to get A squared, add 9, because 3 squared is 9, is equal to 25, because 5 squared is 25. Now if we imagine this as like a rearranging the formula type of question, we're wanting to get A on its own. Now how we do that, to begin with, we're going to take away 9 from both sides. So if we take away 9 from A squared add 9, we're just going to be left with A squared. And if we take away 9 from 25, we're going to be left with 16. But again, A is not on its own, and that's what we need to. That's how we need to get it to find the missing length. So what we need to do is square root our whole equation, just like in the previous question. So if we square root this all, we're going to get A is equal to the square root of 16. And the square root of 16 is 4, because 4 times 4 is equal to 16. So A is going to be equal to 4. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and comment down below if you have any future video ideas that would help you out. Also be sure to check out my social media, which are all in the description box below.